no matter the location. From O-A-K-L-A to L-V, I'm a Raider.
Raider Nation, what's going on? You're watching the Raiders Report, and we are live Tuesday. We go live every Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. Can we finally just move on from Paul Guenther? You know, man, we've been talking about this for way too long. There's a reason why the Raiders' defense has been as bad as it's been. Through 39 games, when you look at points against, sacks, turnovers, the Raiders in those 39 have been ranked dead last. So I've been saying for a while, fire Paul Guenther. If you guys want to go ahead and, you know, get the Fire Paul Guenther shirt, y'all can. It's chatsports.com/FPG. All right, let's go to the next question here on the Las Vegas Raiders Report. And remember, use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat to get on here. See one coming in from ET and then Jake Powers. Do you think because the Raiders didn't trade for a safety or defensive line that they will draft someone like Javin Holland or Trent Morig or a defensive lineman like Marvin Wilson and Jason Owe? So I actually haven't done too much research on the draft prospects yet, but I am a believer that one of the biggest reasons why they didn't make any moves whatsoever during the trade deadline was for the simple fact of they don't have money. Think about it. You invested about $2 billion into a stadium. You have only $6 million in cap space. And the Raiders, Mark Davis, they were relying on ticket sales. You're out another $600 million there, basically. Plus, I mean, yes, I understand NFL owners have money, but if there's one owner that's one of the poorest, it was Mark Davis, it was the Raiders. Let's go to Portillo. If we beat the Dolphins in Week 16, can we get a playoff spot? How about this? I do have a graphic for the playoff picture, so we can bring that up here. Right now, it's definitely right there. I mean, the Raiders are technically the 8th seed. The Dolphins are technically the 9th seed, both at 4 and 3. But with us just beating the Browns, yes, absolutely, there's a realistic chance here. The other realistic chance is if you can take care of business against the Colts, who we play in Week 14. So bottom line, the Raiders, I do think, control their own destiny here because I don't anticipate the Browns having that good of a record as well. All right, continue here to look here at exactly what happened in the wild card hunt. The Raiders 4 and 3, the Dolphins 4 and 3, the Broncos, they just picked up a win. They're 3 and 4. How about this though? If the Raiders do get in the playoff hunt and they make the playoffs, we're going to be making a ton of videos around it. So make sure that you don't miss anything. I'm trying to get the 62,000 subs by Sunday. You know what? No. Let's go Tuesday next week. Let's get to 62,000 subscribers by next Tuesday's show, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. If you're a big-time Raider fan, go ahead and subscribe. I would definitely appreciate it. Let's go to David Rodriguez, another super chat. We really using Erik Harris the rest of the season. May the football gods save us. I mean, am I the only one that actually thought Lamarcus Joyner looked pretty good in his limited time playing a safety this past week against Cleveland? Sure, the weather was really bad. Sure, the Browns weren't really able to stretch the field. But Lamarcus made two really key plays at the end of the game there, tipping the ball, not letting Jarvis Landry catch it. And then Landry caught the ball in the end zone. Joyner nailed him and popped the ball out. Maybe we should move him back. All I'm saying is he was great for the Rams at safety. We are seeing some reports come out that the Raiders might potentially do some different things. They did some different things last week. I want to see how it looks this week when it's not 40-mile-an-hour winds and 25 degrees. All right, let's go to Casey the Sledge Storyteller and Jordan HZ. I accept your apology. Am I crazy to believe that we have a Megatron of defensive talent, just no effective plan? Megaton. I can't read. Do the Raiders have a lot of talent on defense? Yes and no. I mean, let's face it, the defensive line is still a major weak spot. Max Crosby's a good player, but when he gets double-teamed or when defensive scheme for him, he does really struggle. Cleveland Ferrell's been the best defensive lineman for this team. Mo Hurst, I think, has also taken a step up. But, I mean, Trayvon's your only solid corner. Joyner's been very inconsistent. Nevin Lawson doesn't have a lot of talent. Damon Arnett, when he was healthy, he was up and down. And then Erik Harris, I mean, he's definitely an eyesore. Your linebackers, Kwiatkowski's been great. You also have Corey Littleton's been a nightmare. But I am still a believer that one of the biggest reasons that this team has been bad, especially on defense, is because of Paul Guenther. Now, today's show is made possible by our friends and sponsor, BetUS. Every single Raider fan, I want you to listen up because right now there's being some shade thrown on this team. The Raiders are 1-point underdogs to the 2-5 Los Angeles Chargers. That's absolutely mind-blowing to me. So let me know, Are the Raiders going to cover the spread against the Chargers? Yes or no? Because I'm thinking yes, and I'm so confident that the Raiders are going to end up covering the spread. I'm going to Venmo you $50 to go ahead and make this bet. So what does this mean exactly? This is for new BetUS customers only. Go to chatsports.com/Raiders. Put down the promo code Raiders125. It gets you a 125% deposit bonus. Then I want you to bet your $50 on the Raiders covering the spread. If they cover the spread, you win money. If they don't cover the spread, I will Venmo you $50. Hit me up, add me on Venmo at Mitchell Renz 365. If everything that I just said there was a little bit too much information, it's okay. I am the exact same way. You can email me, Raiders@chatsports.com for details, okay? Email Raiders@chatsports.com for details. Bottom line, I'm going to tell you this. The deal's for new BetUS customers only. You got to go to chatsports.com/Raiders. Bet on the Raiders to beat the Chargers, cover the spread. If they don't do it, I'll Venmo you $50. Cover your ass. I got you. All right, let's go to a super chat coming in from Spiriteur 4757, who was with us for the entire NFL draft, basically, or NFL trade deadline. Javin White at linebacker to cover the tight ends. Well, I mean, we saw all the reports out of camp, basically him being as good as what he was. I think it's also telling the fact that he hasn't been promoted, that maybe it was just a little bit of, I guess off-season hype, if you will. We'll see whether or not he ends up playing, but I mean, at this point, I'm not going to anticipate Javin White being called up. Got another super chat from Power Raider. What's up, my dude? The Giants has Tom Baffy. I don't know, and ton for us his money. Shake my head. We should have beaten the Bucs. Paul Guenther has got to go. Fate of the playoffs. I wish I could totally understand what this means. I think you're making fun of Tom Brady, but do I think we should have beat the Bucs? I don't know. I mean, they outplayed us. Yes, the game should have been a lot closer. The turning point for me in that game was when it was 24-17, and John Gruden, instead of going for it on 4th and 1, trotted the field goal unit out there, made it 24-20, whooped the F and do. You still got to score a touchdown, and then Tampa Bay dropped 21 on us. All the momentum went in Tampa Bay's favor there. All right, continue to use hashtag Raiders or Super Chat. I got another super that just came in. If Joyner played better at safety through his career, why do we keep him at corner? I don't know, man. I wish I knew. I don't get paid nearly enough to be able to make those decisions, but I'm with you in the fact that if it was up to me between Erik Harris or Lamarcus Joyner at safety, I would move Lamarcus Joyner back at safety because he also hasn't looked good at nickel. Let's go to XS1Alpha1XS. Appreciate the super chat. Mitch, is David Irving going to play against the Chargers? Really can't wait to see what he does. At this point, I'm not 100% sure whether or not he is going to play. I think it might come down to the health of a guy like Arden Key. If Mo Hurst is going to be able to play, the Raiders did also add somebody on Tuesday, Green, who's been cut by 2 different teams. I don't understand how you make a move and going out and get a player like Irving and then not get any pass rush last week. Their fix to the pass rush was supposed to be Chris Smith. That didn't really work. I want to see David Irving. If y'all want to see David Irving, type David Irving in the comments section. Let's go to Kingo Gomez here on the Las Vegas Raiders report. With Tom Brady healthy, where do you see Jacobs' year in total yards? So, okay, Trent Brown with TB healthy. Where do you see Jacobs' year in total yards? My initial projection for Jacobs in total yards was around 1,500. I don't think it's quite going to get there now. Let's go with like 1,200, maybe 1,300. You also got to think about how tough the schedule's been thus far. I mean, through 7 games, the Raiders have had the hardest schedule in the NFL, by far the toughest win-loss in the NFL, and now it does get a little bit easier. I anticipate you seeing a lot more use of Jacobs going forward, facing easier defenses. So my original, let's go with like 1,300, probably total yards for Jacobs. Ryan_CL, you are next up here on the Las Vegas Raiders report. If Guenther gets fired and is replaced by Marinelli, would you be sold on him leading the defense? I would be more sold on Rob Marinelli leading it than Paul Guenther. I know some people were like, oh, Mitch, the defensive line doesn't look as good because Marinelli's doing controlling that. I've always had confidence in Marinelli as a defensive coordinator. Plus, you hear a lot of the players, they like playing underneath Marinelli. He's going to be able to bring that fire. Do I have more confidence in him than Guenther? Yes, absolutely. But there are some other defensive-minded coaches out there. I, for the life of me, wonder how a guy like Wade Phillips still is unemployed. I would take Wade Phillips over Rod Marinelli any day. Also a guy like Dan Quinn. I know he just got fired by the Falcons, but he is a lot more of a defensive-minded coach. So let me know right now in the comment section who your favorite Raiders player ever is. I'm talking all time. Obviously, this team has a great history, 61 years. Let me know who your favorite Raiders player ever is. And if you are watching this live on Tuesday, remember, we go live 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Pacific. I'm going to start giving some shout-outs here. So I see Jay West is watching. I got Callie King. Trajan Cooper says Derek Carr. William Plant is watching. Jay West just says, what's up, Mitch? Let me know down there in the comment section who your favorite player is. I'm in agreement with Robbie and Isaac. It's Bo Jackson for me. Let's go to Potrillo0003. How many Chucky heads on getting a win in the playoffs if we do get in? If you get into the playoffs, I'm going to give it 2 Chucky heads for the simple fact of this. The Raiders proved this year that they can beat anyone. You beat the Kansas City Chiefs, you can beat anyone. What's really going to determine it for the Raiders is if they can get healthy, which the entire offensive line needs to be able to get healthy, Trent Brown included there. The defense needs to be able to figure it out a little bit more, and can our offense finally get fully healthier with Brian Edwards, Henry Ruggs, you also got Nelson Aguilar there, and get all these guys working together. Because we are still a pretty young team. But as long as you get in, shit, anything can happen. Let's go to Diego Nunez, get a picture. Paul Guenther finally played more man coverage versus the Browns. You are 100% right. And I do think it's funny how I've talked to some Raiders players on Instagram and on Twitter, and a bunch of them have said, to me, that they would like to play man. We've said it here that the Raiders should play more man. You go out and get a lot of players who, whether they played college football, they played a lot more man or had more success playing man on other teams, and yet Paul Guenther has always tried to play zone. It didn't really work when he was with Cincinnati. It hasn't really worked with Vegas either. Hopefully you continue to see a lot more man, because that's how this team is going to be a lot better off. Now, speaking of Paul Guenther, speaking of the defense, who's been the Raiders' defensive MVP so far this season? I want you guys to comment some names below. My names that come to my mind for this are Nick Wachowski and Trayvon Mullen. I don't really think I can give the award to Crosby. I would actually probably say that Cleveland Ferrell has been better than Max Crosby this season. I was hoping that it was going to be Corey Littleton, and that one hasn't happened. And I'm seeing a lot of people right now in the comment section saying that it's Jonathan Abram. I'll disagree with that. And I'm also seeing a lot of people saying that it's bring back Charles Woodson. You know what? Charles Woodson, he's the GOAT. Let's go to Chris Z. Do you think that they should stick to the run against the Chargers since the Broncos came back on big runs? I am going to be having a Raiders vs. Chargers preview that's going to come out. So if you guys are watching this live, it's coming out tomorrow. If you watch this at a later date, then it's going to be out on Wednesday. But one of my keys to the victory there is actually using the running backs more to the passing game. The Chargers ranked, I believe, 30th in the NFL and allowing receptions to backs with 50. So I do think you need to get your backs a little bit more involved. Let's go to Elias. Get a pick, my brother. Jack Del Rio got us to the playoffs in 3 years. Would you think it would be worth trading him for John Gruden if we don't make the playoffs this year? I mean, you're not going to trade your head coach. You're not going to trade Gruden. If you do, you still got to pay him. I mean, that contract was 10 years, $100 million. $100 million of that was guaranteed. So John Gruden is not going anywhere because, for one, I can guarantee you this, Raiders don't have enough money to go out and get a new head coach. So it's John Gruden. If you want to potentially bring back Jack Del Rio as an assistant or maybe an OC or DC, I mean, those are options for you. KCN, what up? If Trent Gets is out for one more week, should we be cut or traded? So there's no more trades that can happen. So the NFL trade deadline is gone and passed. No more trades will happen. Is he going to get cut? No. I mean, if you cut him, you still got to pay him $21.5 million. The only way the Raiders could have possibly cut Trent Brown was, I think, for his COVID bracelet mishap, where maybe you could have done it for contract detrimental to the team, saved a whole bunch of money. But no, if you cut Trent Brown, I mean, it's going to cost you $21.5 million. It just doesn't make a lot of sense. Got another super chat coming in here from Spiriteur. Sneak preview on possible free agent targets in 2021. Ooh, man. If there's anybody that I would love to go out and get, it's probably Anthony Harris. I would be very shocked if the Minnesota Vikings ended up bringing him back. But obviously, once the offseason happens, we will continue to do daily videos. We will continue to do stuff on a bunch of free agent targets in 2021. So make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you don't miss anything. We will get into a lot more free agency rumors, news as the season and as the year continues to go on. Probably January, February, a lot of free agency.